Hey everybody, let me get right into this. This video is basically this video message is for anybody that has had a hard time moving forward after a breakup. So many of us out here, just people in the world, period, we've been in marriages, we've been in relationships with a boyfriend, or some of you all have been in relationships with your girlfriend or whoever, and they have gotten to a point for whatever reason that they no longer want to be with you, and they will try to break up with you, or they will completely break up with you. The thing that I want you guys to understand is you have to learn how to handle rejection well. Some people don't handle rejection well. There are going to be people out here that you come across that you've been in relationships with, and for whatever reason, they no longer want to be with you. But what I need you to do is you have to have a lot of dignity and self-respect for yourself and learn how to accept when somebody says they no longer want to be in a relationship with you. Don't resort, listen to what I'm saying. Don't resort to cursing a person out. Don't resort to calling a bunch of family members and friends on the phone. Don't ever, because a lot of people do this. They do this. And some of you all that's viewing this video, you may be actually guilty of this. But don't sit somebody down that is trying to divorce you or break up with you, and you try to convince them and bring out the whole list of everything that you did in a relationship to try to persuade them as to why they need to stay with you. People, let me make you understand something right now. If you have to sit somebody down and bring a list or remind somebody that you are married to or that you're in a relationship with of all the things you did over the course of the marriage or the relationship to try to manipulate them or to try to get them to a place where they second guess themselves on walking away from you, that is a horrible place to be. And you literally have hit rock bottom. I'm not even going to be mean about it. I'm being very real. You should never, ever have to get to a place where it's actually somebody that's claiming that they love you. Somebody that claims that you are their everything, you are their heart. But when they say, this is not working, you and I are not getting along, we need to break up, we're two different people, whatever lie or excuse that they give you, it doesn't even matter. But you should never get to a point where you have to give somebody all the reasons why they need to stay with you. Let me make you understand something. When you are in a marriage or relationship with somebody, they already know everything that's awesome about you. They know all the great good things about you as well as the bad. They know the bad things about you too. But every good thing that you brought to the table in a relationship, your support, the love, the respect, even some of you guys that choose to have sex in your relationship, the good sex, whatever it is, the person that is trying to break up with you and walk away from you, or the person that did already break up with you and walked away from you, you should not have to convince them on why they need to come back to you. Let me tell you, when somebody knows who you are and how you are and your heart, you don't have to convince them to stay with you. You don't have to manipulate them and remind them, but I did this and I did that. And remember when I had your back when you went through blah, 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 blah. You don't have to go through all of the rigmarole and trying to make somebody stay with you. Because the reality is this, you cannot make anybody stay with you. Even if you have been accustomed to manipulating somebody, trying to convince them this is the reason why you shouldn't walk away from me, and then playing the game saying you'll never get anybody better than me, nobody wants you, I put up with that from you, but the next man or the next woman, they're not going to put up with that. Let me be real and let me be frank. You don't know what somebody else is going to put up with when it comes to your ex. You don't know. You don't know, because what you had a problem with concerning your ex-husband or your ex-wife or whoever, your ex-whoever, that does not necessarily mean that the new man or the new woman in their life is going to be irritated or agitated by the thing that you were. So how can you arrogantly state and say to your ex, oh, you never gonna find nobody better than me, or that woman not gonna put up with your stuff like I put up with it? I'm gonna be real. Some people have been stupid. I'm not calling any of you all stupid, but I do believe we have made stupid decisions in life when it comes to relationships with people as a whole. Whether it was with marriage, whether it was with a boyfriend or girlfriend, even with some friendships, we have all been at a place where we was stupid and we kept dealing with all of the BS coming from that person. We was dealing with the lies, we was dealing with the cheating, we was dealing with the beatings, the abuse. You probably was dealing with the disrespect. You was dealing with them not being supportive. You were dealing with them not having your back when you went through something, not encouraging you. Whatever your thing was, you put up with something when it came to a relationship. But just because you put up with it, that does not necessarily mean that a new person that walks into your ex life won't put up with the same thing or even more. You can't call the next future relationship with your ex. You don't know. But the thing about it, people, and I want you guys to understand this in my video message, you got to have your dignity and your self-respect when you have broken up with somebody, or when you are at a point where you are about to break up with somebody. Too many people today, they get filled with rage and anger when a relationship is over. And yes, it hurts. Some of you guys probably cry. Some of you guys have probably laid in the bed for days at a time. You can't take a shower. You can't eat. You're crying. You're looking through all these pictures. You're trying to figure out, have they found a better man or a better woman than you? Let me tell you, at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever. And if you've been in a relationship and it comes to a close, that means that you probably at a place in your life where God actually wants to work on just you, period. Or it's somebody out here that's better for you. Sometimes when you young and you haven't had a lot of experience, or you don't really know how, it's not intentional, but everybody does not know how to be a good husband or wife, or everybody doesn't know how to be a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend. You don't know. Just like it's not a book on parenting, it's not a book on how to be a great husband, how to be a great wife, how to be a good girlfriend or a good boyfriend. It's kind of like you learn as you go through trial and error. So that's my message to you guys. You guys got to get to a point where you learn how to handle rejection well. And I want you guys to also remember and keep it in your mind. Stop trying to convince or manipulate or persuade somebody to stay with you, and clearly they want to leave. If a person is trying to walk away from you, I'm not saying you don't care and you don't try to talk to them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you don't try to hold your relationship together and fight for your relationship. But when it gets to the point that you're groveling over somebody that's saying that they don't want to be with you anymore, people, you gotta do better. You gotta do better, because a person that loves you and a person that knows what you bring to the table, they wouldn't put you in a position where they see you at that point where you're literally begging them to stay with you, or you have to convince them and remind them of everything you've done over the course of the relationship. And you're trying to give them all the reasons why they probably should stay with you. So guys, you can take my advice. You don't have to take the advice, but I'm sure that a lot of you guys that's viewing this video, you will be able to relate to the video. I appreciate you guys supporting me on my journey and even viewing my videos, because I want everybody to get something out of what I talk about at the end of the day. But if you currently are broken up with somebody and they walked away from you, or they're trying to walk away from you now, leave that person alone. Let them move on with their life. Trust me, If you got left or somebody does not want to be bothered with you, you never know. As time goes on, you will meet the love of your life, and it will make you feel completely different than that ex-boyfriend or girlfriend did. But rejection, at the end of the day, is not the point that you got rejected, it's how you handle it.